What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sonic Racing Crossworlds video. My name is Zero. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we are going to be talking about some of the negatives about Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love this game to death. Like, absolutely. I've already got 28 hours, and it's only been out for 2-ish days in the game. I've already 100%ed every Grand Prix. I've unlocked Supersonic. I've unlocked every gear. I've unlocked everything you can in the game already. Needless to say, I love this game. It is the best Sonic game in my eyes since Zero Gravity. But just because it's an amazing game doesn't mean it's a perfect game. There are some flaws that I would like to talk about and discuss, and if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below. But I've got a list here in front of me of all the gripes that I've got about the game so far, and I would love for you to join me. As all fellow Sonic fans like me should, we should be able to talk and discuss about this civil. So, first of all, sorry for hitting the mic there if that picked that up. The first thing, no auto-accelerate online. Now, that might be very niche to me, but I use auto-accelerate in the Grand Prix because I don't like indenting my thumb to a flat board for the many hours that I play this game. It's not fun, it's not very comfortable, it wears out my thumb. So, I would much rather, and I don't really want to rebind everything. Like, I could just rebind it, but I don't want to because that'll just mess up the flow and then that finger will get tired. So, you know, there's no way to avoid it. Auto accelerate is just a good feature, and yeah. I've played a lot of games, a lot of racing games that have that. Like Sonic Riders has auto accelerate, Kirby Air Ride has auto accelerate, and just etc, etc. So, anyways, I'm just used to it. And auto accelerate also doesn't work the right way. Like, if you have it on, you'd think that as soon as you start with the boost, or just right off the gate and go, that, like, then bam, it would just accelerate up. But no, you have to hold it down, let the machine fully accelerate, then you can let go for it to count as auto acceleration. And that feature just straight up doesn't exist in online. Like, I have it switched on in online, and I'll do it where I'll hold the button down, I'll hold the accelerator, I'll let the machine get to full acceleration and full top speed, I'll let go, and then I start slowing back down. That kind of defeats the purpose of auto acceleration, doesn't it? So, all my homies that don't want flat thumbs or flat index fingers, whatever you use to accelerate, and if you use spacebar, I don't know, that's weird. No judgment here. That's just weird to me. Anyways, all my homies hate no auto accelerate. That is one thing I would like changed. The next thing changed. The next big thing that needs to be addressed, like, at once. The goo, the anvil, the buzzsaw, or the shuriken, whatever you want to call it, and King Boom Boo, or the ghost, if you don't want to call him by a Sonic Adventure 2 name, are awful. Horrible items that have ever been added into the game. Nobody likes them, not even the casual players. Like, I'm a competitive player, I'm a very competitive player. But nobody likes them, not even the casuals. Like, what is fun about the goo slowing you down and hindering your ability to drive until you shake off all the goo? There's a reason why Mario Kart, when you get inked, it just blocks your screen and does nothing else. That's what the goo should do. And it should go away over time. You shouldn't have to sit there jiggling your joystick around or spamming A and D, whatever you use to control your character, to get it off. That is just stupid. Nobody wants it. And at the very least, don't hinder our movement in the race. None of that's fun. Secondly, the anvil. Who greenlit this idea? An unstoppable force just drops on you and you just lose. Better have an AoE firing or a shield on hand and just deflect every possible thing every time you see that red ring warp around your head. And pray it's not an anvil, and if it is, well, you just sucks to suck, man. You just get flattened for no reason. And then you can get the fun double whammy of the goo into the anvil because you have been chosen for that. Unavoidable traps are just really lame. Which is why I'm going to get into the ghost here in a minute, but yeah, the anvil, the goo, definitely need to go. The buzzsaw is just more of a personal gripe. You can block it with a magnet, with a spike ball, with a red punch, with a green punch. It's very counterable, and it'll even vanish if you go through a warp ring to a crossworld, or even just a normal warp ring item. Like, you can counter it. It's just the fact of why I'm complaining about it is the effect it has on you. It rips off the back half of your machine and you're just sitting there cruising at 2 miles an hour for 3 whole seconds. And then you have to re-accelerate up to top speed, and I've got something also about that in my next pointer, about the whole you're just sitting idle for 3 whole seconds kind of stuff. And then, last but not least, King Boom Boo, or the Ghost if you've never played Sonic Adventure 2. King Boom Boo is really lame. It's like a blue shell from Mario Kart, except worse. How they could have made it worse is beyond me. Like, you can hear him approaching when he is within proximity, but you can also hear him when he spawns in the map when someone drops a King Boom Boo. You can hear the little brawl from like 40 feet away, and you just know impending death is coming. But there's literally no way to counter him. There's no way to dodge him. There's no way to do anything. You need a shield. That is the only way you can deflect King Boom Boo, is if you have a shield. And if you don't, well, sucks to suck. You have been chosen for death. And the worst thing is other people can control King Boom Boo if you're not in first place. Like, if he's going after the first place, and you're right behind first place, you can try and get out of the way. But first place can also start turning and try to catch you in the crossfire, and that is just really stupid. And I mean, the blue shell does the same thing with its big AoE explosion, but it's not anywhere near as bad as King Boom Boo, because his is somewhat AoE with its width, but it's also a line. So it can hit like 7 people in a row, and then Timmy Two Thumbs can just cruise on by and win the race. None of that's fun. Nobody wants to deal with any of that. So I am going to start a petition, not really, to remove those 4 items, or at least have them adjusted. None of that's fun. So, there. That's my next point. Point number 3. Forced to use certain gadgets, aka Quick Recover. If you're literally not running Quick Recovery, which is the thing that makes you take reduced stun whenever you get damaged by an item, then you're just throwing. You're intentionally signing yourself up to have a bad time. Every single item in this game, no matter if it's strong or weak, that hits you, hinders you for 3 seconds or more. And that's just not fun. It feels like you're trying to race through molasses with syrup and fixed with Super Elmer's glue. Like, if you have Quick Recovery on, then it's not so bad. It's just you get hit, you recover in a second, and then, oh, there you go, back to racing. You're literally required to use that if you want to have a chance at winning. And again, that's not fun to deal with. Nobody wants to deal with that. So, something needs to be done about the generalistic stun duration so that you don't feel like you're forced to have to run Quick Recovery and you can actually enjoy all the other gadgets. because quick recovery is a 3-slotted gadget. So that means you have half of your plate gone just so you're not having a miserable time getting abused by every item that's being hurled at you at Mach 3 from every position in the track. Whether you're 1st or 12th, you're getting slammed by everything. So that needs to have a quick adjustment. I don't know what that could be, but something needs to be done about it. Which that now brings me to my next point. Point number 4. Drafting / slipstreaming does nothing. When you're literally sitting there behind somebody, whether you're in the extreme gear or you're in a car, and you're drafting behind somebody, or in the slipstream as it's called in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, you are like very barely increasing in speed. You play any other racing game and you're drafting behind somebody, you're like quickly zooming and speeding up and catching to slingshot past them. In Crossworlds, you're just like very, very slowly approaching them. You're like getting no speed whatsoever, if any at all. If they have more rings than you, then you're not going to catch them, even if you're in their slipstream. Slipstreaming needs to be like how it was, if anything, like in Sonic Riders, where you jump into their jet's turbulence, and then you just kind of slowly start speeding up over time. You can do a trick to speed up your time in the turbulence to slingshot past people. Like, that would be a really fun mechanic. But as it stands right now, drafting or slipstreaming is just non-existent. There is literally no point in doing so. Alright, next one. Point number 5. Air trick boosting feels useless. It really does. It doesn't matter, and then my next point is going to cover this. Doesn't matter how many tricks you do. As soon as you hit the ground, you like barely boost anywhere after doing tricks. Which ties into point 6. Any air trick after level 3 is completely useless. You have so many tracks in this game where you get like a ton of height, a ton of air. Like Metal Harbor, for instance. There's a gigantic ramp in Metal Harbor where you're just flung up in the air. You can do like 400 tricks if you have Trick Expert or even Trick Adept on. But it doesn't matter. Once it hits level 3, it's capped. It doesn't matter if you do 4 tricks. It doesn't matter if you do 26 tricks. You get the same speed boost when you hit the ground. There needs to be something done about that. There needs to be higher levels of trick boosting. Or something. Or this boost needs to be stronger in some way at level 3. Because some people don't want to run Trick Adept or Trick Expert. They'd rather use different gadgets in those 2 slots. And that's fine, but, you know, just something has to be done about the whole boosting mechanic as a whole. Because landing from a trick chain doesn't do anything. Drafting doesn't do anything. Like, something's got to give there about that. So, air tricks need to have a higher boost and all of that stuff. Yeah, so there you go. Point number 7. Supersonic isn't usable, not even as a skin online for how abysmal the grind is. I did the Supersonic grind day 1 that this game came out. Like, I opened the game, I did some races online, had some fun, took a break, and then I spent like 9 hours doing every Grand Prix from Sonic Speed to Mirrored Sonic Speed to Supersonic Speed, beating every rival, doing all that junk to unlock Supersonic just to have him restricted to Grand Prix only. Now, I get it. He's fully invincible. He doesn't take any damage from anything. He doesn't lose rings when he hits the wall. But come on, it is not that hard to code him to online to make him not invincible. I am sure it's just a quick, maybe, I mean, it might not be, I'm not a coder or a game designer, It might not be as simple as just type in a code, but it could be just as easy as type in a quick little one line of code, make Supersonic not invincible online, and let people use him as a skin to show him off. I would love to show off Supersonic and have fun racing as Supersonic online, but I can't do that. I can only play him offline, and I can only play him in the Grand Prix. I can't even play him in an online friend match. I can literally only use him in Grand Prix. And that's just really lame. Like, for how hard it is to defeat all 23 rivals while also completing every Grand Prix type is such a chore and pain that it's not fair that we can't use Supersonic outside of the Grand Prix. Just literally just make him a skin. Just flip him to be not invincible online and let us play as Supersonic online. It's that simple. Alright, next up, along with the skinning thing, the AI skins for the writers are horrible audio-wise. Just give them the writer's voice. There's a new feature in Sonic Racing Crossworlds called the Friendship feature, where you can just pump a whole bunch of the King Dodonpa tickets into your favorite character to level them up, to get a new skin for them, a new title for yourself, decals, all of that stuff. And when you put about 3,000 in, you unlock the AI version of that character, which is like a whatever their character colors are, but it's just like a glitched effect. Like Silver's is a whole white glitch effect, Blaze is full purple, etc., etc. But like, that's all cool. That's a really cool design, but their voice is just literally like, that's all they do. That's all the sounds they make. Why not just let them keep the writer's original voice? They took more effort in making that part dumb than taking less effort in just porting the voices over to that skin. Like, come on. That's not a hard ask. Just let us have the normal voices on the writers if we're using an AI skin, so that we don't have to turn off the voice entirely or change language or whatever, if that even works. I know you can turn off the voices, but that turns off every voice, and I don't want to turn off every voice. I like hearing my favorite characters talk. I like hearing Sonic, Shadow, Jet, Silver, etc. talk. But I can't, because... or I won't be able to if I turn off the audio for the voice, just because I want to use an AI character. So... just, I'm going off in different directions with this, but main point being, just let us have the option to have the writer's voice on the AI model instead of the whatever sounds that the AI model makes. Otherwise, it just feels like a total... like, I don't even use it. I got Shadow's AI model, and I don't even use it, because it's just so annoying to listen to every time he does a trick in the air, or I use an emote in the lobby menu. None of that is fun. It's a waste of 3,000 points. Alright. Back about the Grand Prix thing. Point number 9, I think. Supersonic speed needs to be added to the online as its own game mode or something. When you finally unlock supersonic speed by completing all 7 Grand Prix, excluding this Grand Prix, it is such a game changer. It is so much more fun playing on supersonic speed in the Grand Prix. Like, that's how Sonic should feel. A very, very fast-paced game. Now, I get it. Sonic speed is slow because... for the casual players, they don't want to be over-stimulated or whatever, but I mean, I've got autism and ADHD. I live for stimulation. Because that kind of super fast-paced racing is literally my perfect style, and I'm sure a lot of other people agree with me that racing that fast is just so much more fun and feels like Sonic. That's the point I'm trying to get across, is it feels like Sonic. because it's so fast. It just fits the personality much better. I would love for that to be added to the playlist or let you queue for it separately. That might split up the player base, it might not. I don't know. But I just want some way to be able to play in 200cc for the Mario Kart players, or supersonic speed online with friends. You can in a friend group, like in friend lobbies, but when you don't have friends like me, you can't really experience that same fun. So I want some way to do it online with other people. It would be so much more fun that way. Alright, 3 points to go. Getting hit mid-air cancels your trick. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. When you're just sitting there and you happen to be tricking next to somebody else and they just decide, I'm going to use the AoE fire ring. And then you just get smacked because he's right next to you. You lose half your rings and you just stop mid-trick and then you can't finish your combo. Like, granted, I know tricking doesn't... I mentioned before tricking doesn't do anything, but it's still, like, fun to do. And you do have that gadget called Trick Bounty, where you get rings for doing consecutive tricks. So there is that use. But outside of just the fun factor, it's not fun whenever you're just doing a whole bunch of tricks and then just... And now... Well, there you go. You just have to float downwards. Or get, like, maybe one more trick in. So... I would like that to be changed, where you can keep... You'll lose your rings, but you can keep tricking. That's what that's all I would want. Is while you're both tricking in the air and someone decides they want to use a damage power, and so you just get hit, you can keep tricking and keep your combo, but you'll just lose your rings, and then you hit the ground and boost off. That's not a hard ask, I think. And I think a lot of people would also prefer that. But I don't know. We'll see. Second to last one. Character passing or getting past animations prevent tricks. Whenever you're coming up to a hill or a ramp or whatever, and you get past, your character will be like, will do like an "aw, dang it" animation. And during that time, while they're in the air or before you're about to go off that ramp, you can't input any tricks or do anything. And then most of the time, you're just sitting there floating in the air, doing nothing, and then you just land back on the ground and keep racing. That is weird, because in Sonic Riders, that had the same animation, where you pass somebody and they're like, bye, and you can keep going and trick in the air, or you'll be like, oh, dang it, and then you can keep going and trick in the air. Like, that's not too difficult. But in this game, you pass somebody and they're like, and then sit there and do nothing, and then you hit the ground and it's like, well, that's cool, and then they just get to sit there and trick and then boost off, and it's like, well, okay, great, nice. So that needs to be changed big time. And then my last and final point is touching the off-road terrain even for 1 frame stops all of your momentum. This is the dumbest one. Like, above all of the other ones that are dumb and useless on this list, this one's the most lame. Like, how many times have you, yes, you, Mark, and Amanda, been driving, and then you go to bank a sharp turn on your extreme gear or your car, whichever one you're using, and then you lightly, just very lightly, accidentally overcorrect, and you just touch your front wheel or touch the nose of the extreme gear to the grass and then just full halt. You lose all your built-up drift that you were currently making, or you were in mid-boost of the drift, and then you barely touch a blade of grass, and then you just come to a halt, and you get no distance at all. I don't think it should just be an instantaneous stop, like you slam into a wall. I think it should be a gradual slowdown, like you're in top speed, you hit it, and then you start slowing down like that over time, but I don't think it should just be a hard stop. Now, I get you can cut terrain with the monster truck, with the teleport wisp, with the drill wisp, with the boost wisp, etc, etc. I'm not trying to make it to where you can't just cut through without the use of a tool. I'm just saying that it shouldn't just harsh stop you if you just accidentally clip the side of the off-road terrain. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I've got for y'all today. I'm sorry I just hit the mic again. Thank you guys so much for listening to me rant. I do absolutely love this game, and I have these complaints because I care, and I want this game to do good. I am in so much love with this game. It deserves all the hype and love it's getting, but to truly love something, you have to hate it. And there are a lot of things I don't like about this game, but that doesn't mean I love it any less. I just want for these to be changed or adjusted in some way that it can still be fun for everybody while remaining like a competitive scene if they want to do that. I don't know. I'm just thinking of the general populace here. But let me know down in the comments below if I missed anything, if y'all have anything else to add to my list. Feel free to let me know. Leave a comment, or I already said that. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and a subscribe helps me out a ton. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching this, and have a good night. I'll see you in the next one.
I was out getting faded till she hit me up. She heard I was on it. Girl, you trip too much. It's only been like 3 months. Why you take it personal like that?